Correct.
Why not get under center in that instance? I mean, how many times can you can still run the ball under center? You can still do everything, and then maybe you get to crowd out of the game. All right, let's go back to shotgun and do our thing.
Yeah. All right. Let's move along to passing defense. Yards per pass attempt allowed. The Green Bay Packers are tied for first place with the Atlanta Falcons at 5.2 yards per pass attempt. So Jeff Hafley is cooking in the pass defense, no doubt. He's top 5 in run defense, right? So you ask yourself, how come we're not top 5 or top 3 in yards or in points per play? You have turned the ball over on the other side of the field, right? And given short field to a lot of teams. So that's something you got to clean up for sure. You got to make sure you control that this week. But Packers are tied for first. The Bengals are 25th in yards per pass attempt. They're giving up 7.3 yards per pass attempt as it sits right now. I'm trying to see which one is the away game. Next to last column. On the road, Cincinnati's giving up 7.1, so they're a little bit better in passing defense on the road than at home, which is kind of wild to think about. Not much better, but yeah. What do you think, Emilio? What are you grinning about?
I was just looking at Dallas, man. They're 7.9. They're last in the league, and at home gave up 8.9 yards per pass. It's like, that is brutal, man. In Jerry World, you're just getting the ball chucked all over. It's just passing back and forth on the big screen. You know what I mean?
Somebody check on essay.
I'm telling you. That's brutal.
So, yeah, there's your passing defense numbers, Tim. What do you think, man? Hafley the real deal this year, man.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet you most of these are from zone, not cover one man, like we talked about
time and time again, right?
Yeah, and I hate to keep sounding like a broken record, but again, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Keep it in front of us. I would anticipate fully that Cincinnati is going to try and get the ball out quick. I'm not saying screen game, but it's going to be short passes, trying to build some momentum. And if you're getting overly aggressive there, those type of plays can really kill you. So I'm confident that Hafley and this defense are going to continue to build on that. And, for all we talk about being a little nervous going into this game, I mean, when you break down the numbers like this could be a perfect opportunity for us, get right game. Like I said, we're coming off a loss and a tie. We got to get a dub here coming out of the bye. And, you want your defense to play aggressive situationally, but you don't have to sit there and, breathe down their neck all day long and get lit up over the top. So I think it's a testament to, Hafley and really DeMarcus Covington with the work he's done with the defensive front and, inconsistent personnel and still getting good results. So hopefully it's more of the same.
And for me, just kind of stepping back and taking a broad view of everything, right? Like when you look at everything, and we'll go through it one more time and you guys probably caught on. There's not one key statistical category that the Bengals are better than the Packers in, right? Now, you think if there's ever a game that's a slam dunk win, it's this one. But by definition, that means this is a trap game. That's just the way that works, right? So, I don't know, man. When you kind of look at everything on the surface, I like where the Packers are at, right? They're still the youngest team in the league. I'm tired of hearing it. I know y'all are tired of hearing it because I'm tired of saying it, but they are the youngest team in the league. You got Christian Watson's going to be getting healthy here real soon. Devontae Wyatt, that's a hit, but hopefully he'll be ready to go at a minimum the game after Arizona, right, which is 2 weeks from now. I think we could make it without him in Arizona possibly, but, man, that defense looked totally different when Devontae Wyatt wasn't on the field. So when you break all these statistical categories down, offensive scoring, points per play, the Packers have the edge. Scoring defense, points per play allowed, the Packers have the edge by a long shot. Turnover margin per game, the Packers are better than the Bengals. Running game, offensive ranking, yards per rush attempt, the Packers are slightly better. That's the one that's the closest, right? Running game defense, rush defense, right? Yards per rush attempt allowed, Packers are significantly better, being top 5. Passing game on offense, Packers are 4th, Bengals are 27th. Again, another notch, a big notch in the Packers belt there. Passing defense, the Packers are 1st, the Bengals are 25th. Tim, every single category, man, Packers have the edge. This is feeling like they're 14-point favorites, just like the line says.
It's true. There's a lot of validity to that approach, but we also know any given Sunday, right? Strap on the helmets and the cleats and snap the ball, and nobody's going to think about any of this. It's going to come down to how we play. And, another thing we need to talk about, not too much, but we should mention it is, don't shoot ourselves in the foot, guys. If we can go ahead and not beat ourselves, I think 14 points is pretty fair. But if you're getting false starts and you're getting, procedural penalties and stupid things that are backing you up all day long, you're going to put Cincinnati in a position that, it could be a close game. And honestly, a close game is going to favor Cincinnati in this matchup. I think we need to go out there and do what we do best and get it done, put points on the board, play fundamentally sound, both sides of the ball. And I think we should. Like I said earlier in the week, if we put a 40 burger on Cincinnati, we better win this game. 40 points wasn't enough to beat Dallas, unfortunately, even in overtime. But I think, you start getting, well into those 30s, 40-point margin, and you're scoring tutters and not kicking field goals all day. We should win this game, by a couple of scores at least, as long as we're not shooting ourselves in the foot, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Emilio, you got anything else you want to hit on here, man, before we wrap up?
No, just that. I mean, Tim pretty much hit it. It's just that the team itself, I think coming out of the bye, the defense is really going to be motivated to try to get that taste out of your mouth, which is going to be huge. You're at home. You're going to have a good, good crowd roar, all that. You're going to have it'll be different than when you played Flacco last time, right? You were playing in Cleveland. He got to make his calls and do all that. If it's loud out there, if you're staying on them, keeping up, the crowd's hype. I mean, you could really get them into a blunder. Like, we have issues when there's crowd noise and we're away. So it's really just putting them in a pickle and being able to, make the most out of your opportunities. Like Hafley said, he goes through every week the missed opportunities, missed turnover chances, all these things that are there each week that, hey, if you just do that 1/11th, that's yours, and you can't worry about somebody else's job. You have to do yours, all those things. Some of those are going to start turning over and actually becoming, +1 for us instead of just a deflection or anything like that. So I think this could be one of those weeks that we turn that around, maybe get that floodgate open for turnovers and see what happens.
Yeah, our guys better wake up with their piss hot, like I said before. So
I heard, I think it was Wildy and Tausch talking earlier today, and I don't want to put words into Wildy's mouth. You guys know I watch that show pretty much daily. I really enjoy it. I love Tauscher. I think Wildy does a great job with what he does and kind of the angle he brings and storytelling aspect of the Packers and this and that. But they were talking about Tucker Kraft, and Tucker Kraft made a comment, and they didn't get it confirmed who shared that Tucker Kraft said that, but I guess it was one of the reporters asked Tucker Kraft about a comment he had made where he said the offense is better when they get me going. They get me at least a touch per drive. And, Wildy was like, is he being cocky is kind of what he was pressing into. And Tauscher had no problem with it. You want your great players to want the football, With that being said, came away from that conversation like, I thought Tucker Kraft was having a great year, Like, I thought he was tracking really, really well. We talked about some of the advanced metrics and this and that. And I came away from that conversation like, well, maybe he's not having as good a season as I thought he was. Well, just pulling up the numbers here, guys. Tucker Kraft, he's got 16 catches on 20 targets for 225 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's through 4 games, right? He's averaging 14.1 yards per catch. Well, I think that's leading the league at tight end. I know it was a couple weeks ago, right? Look at his projected stat total here. 68 catches, 956 yards receiving, and 9 touchdowns. God, that's a dominant tight end. Am I missing something here?
No, you're not, because I think it is. I think that's the case. And listen, when I was listening to Tucker's interview, I think he was really saying it as like, no, I want the ball. And like, if I think the offense does good things, or I think good things can happen when the ball touches my hands and it goes through me. And sometimes you just have to get those players one touch a drive. It's not like there's nothing wrong with it. You're going to turn around and hand the ball off to Josh Jacobs. So you're going to say you can't give him a touch a drive. So it's like Jamar Chase. He's going to get his touches every drive. He's on the way outside. So you got different aspects, different levels for each player. I think you have to lean into that. I think you have to go ahead and accept the fact that when it happens, good things happen. If he's having a down game, all right, cool, let's get away from it. But I don't think you can go into the game and not try to get him, 2 to 4 catches a game but you also can't wait to do that in the fourth quarter, right? So if you're hanging in and you're having problems hanging in there, back and forth, and then you finally just start using Tuck, and then things start turning around, that's on you, right? That's on Matt not calling it, not scheming that up earlier. So I think it's just little things that you can learn from. I just hope Matt and the team come out strong after this bye week. I know he's not the best after a bye, right? We don't blow teams out. I think you have things here and there that just don't go right, but I expect them to sort of hopefully turn it around on this one. I think you got a good opponent to go up against, and you've had some time to get that tie. At least it wasn't a loss, but a tie squared up.
Yep.
Tim, what do you think about the projections there for Tucker Kraft, man?
I mean, the projections look great. The number that gets me is the targets. I mean, we're in 4 games, right? We got 4 games. That's 5 targets a game. He's at 20 targets. I'd like to see him targeted a little more, especially earlier in the progressions. I feel like getting Tuck the ball early and letting him get those yak yards that we love so much, lower the shoulder and create after the catch. I don't think we've seen as much of that, but again, it's a testament to this offense. I feel for Jordan Love going through his progressions and looking at all the options that he really has on a given play. But I'm not saying force the ball to Tuck, but to Emilio's point, man, we're a better offense when he is active early and involved pass game. And he can prove to be clutch too on some of those third downs. It's not just Rome and Tay Wicks and Matthew Golden. Tuck Norris is a guy that you can always look to in those 3rd and 5s, 3rd and 6 type deals. That would be my only I guess pushback would be I'd like to see more targets, but we also know how that is, right? That's dictated by matchups, and that's a week to week thing. If you're right. If we're calling a lot of run plays and you're out there, sift blocking or lead blocking, you're not going to get a target, right? It just is what it is. If they're sending help or doubling down on you, your quarterback's going to look somewhere else, and you want them to. But I do feel like getting the ball to Tucker early in the progression is going to serve us better and really get his numbers up too.
You make a great point because he's 23rd in targets amongst tight ends. That's wild because, again, he's our leading receiver. Now, it does show you, how many games are we going to see where Jordan is thrown to, 8 to 10 different receivers, right, and completed passes to him. So they're definitely moving the ball around quite a bit. Again, targets, he's 23rd. Now, let's go to yardage and see where he stacks up. So he is 8th in receiving yards at 225 yards. So, once again –
he's a yak machine. He's an absolute yak machine.
Yep, he is, man. When you talk about yards per reception – he's 3rd in the league in yards per reception amongst tight ends. Only Hunter Henry with the Patriots and Dalton Kincaid with the Bills have more, right? His catch percentage is 80%. His catch rate over expected, he is sitting in the number 11 spot. His receiving EPA is a little bit lower, however. So it's what that tells you is there are definitely plays that he should be making, right? And he is making them. Don't get me wrong, he's making them. But no, I'm sorry. Receiving EPA, it's plus 17.
And remember, some of these guys have already played 5 games. I mean, you only have a few that have 4 games played here. You got a lot that have 5 games on their totals with yards. Because I was looking at Tyler Warren for the Colts. Yeah, Danny Dimes has been Indiana Jones has been spinning it, right? But you're looking at a rookie there that's gotten 31 targets. Okay, but I think Tuck can handle that. If you get him 5-10 more targets this game, you're right back caught up with him at the 5-game stint. But.
Yeah, so if he had played, 5 games up to this point, which most of these guys have, he's probably leading the receiving EPA, right?
I would think. I would think.
And then let's see here. Let's go to Yak over expected. Yak over expected. He's 2nd in the league, only behind rookie Tyler Warren with the Colts.
I think that's a good comp because they're going to try to feed Warren. I think that they're going to try to work him in as a major part of their offense. With 1 extra game, Warren's got 75 more yards, 80 more yards, and 10 more targets. You get Tucker 10 targets, I almost would bet he'd get us 70, 80 yards.
Yep. And a great way to pick up your run game. If there's an issue with the run game like we've had where we can't get it going, that's the adjustment I would make. I'm looking to Tuck Norris right away and get him the ball early. Let him get those yards.
So I feel really comfortable after diving into that, right? The projection total, and then obviously, according to ESPN, then over here on NFL Pro, looking at some of these advanced metrics, I feel really comfortable saying Tucker Kraft is a top 5 tight end. Would y'all agree with that? Do y'all think that's too high, too low? How do y'all feel about that?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Top 5, right? So that's, again, and I don't want to put words into Wildy's mouth, but as he was talking, I was like, man, he's kind of down on Tucker a little bit. And then he did go on to say, no, I was the guy talking Tucker up. I called it before a lot of people did. I think he's going to be a great tight end. I think he's going to be a great football player. But it's just, what else do we expect him to do? He's leading the team in receiving on, far fewer targets than most tight ends are getting. He's a yak machine, like Emilio pointed out. The receiving EPA is through the roof. The catch rate over expected is solid. Yards per reception at 14.1. Outside of Dalton Kincaid and Hunter Henry, the argument can be made that he's a top 3 tight end. He just needs more targets. And again, don't force it, but don't be afraid to design a play where he's the number 1 target. He's the number 1 in the progression, right, Tim? That's essentially what you were saying.
That's what I'm saying. And then give Jordan that option to just, zip that ball over to him right away or go to his next read. But at least, let's bring Tuck up the list here on some of these for sure.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on Tucker Kraft? Again, that popped in my mind. I'm like, man, let's take a look at it real quick. So we just kind of did that on the fly. I'm glad we did because he does, man. I think he's top 5.
No,
pretty cool. Pretty cool.
J. Cole, I wasn't trying to bring it up to get your buttons bursted here, but J. Cole saying, I'm so sick of the Indiana Jones stuff. Let's just get to the end of the year before crowning him. To me, Jonathan Taylor's been the difference maker for that team. I think so too. I like the nickname, and the dude, he went to the Vikings. At least they didn't keep him because he's starting to spin it right now for the Colts. But you think about it, he went to the Vikings, got to learn from KOC a little bit, whatever he did pick up. All right, I'm going to take that to a team where maybe I can make a run because it didn't work out with the Giants. And, it's just they've just been talking a lot about the late bloomers, him, Sam Darnold, all that stuff. And it's you get quarterbacks that get comped to each other forever, like Caleb and Daniels, and then you get quarterbacks, they're just different stages. You get ones that are late bloomers, Baker, Sam Darnold, and Jones, all these different aspects or different, archetypes for a quarterback in the NFL is crazy.
Yeah, yep. I personally, I'm a fan of Daniel Jones, dude. I like the way he carries himself. That was a crap show over there with the New York Giants. I was going to try to see if we could figure out. Give me just a second. Let's just see where he's stacking up on some of these advanced.
They're not doing bad. They're what, putting up 40 points 2 or 3 times already this season. Their defense is holding them to nothing. Coming into the year, I didn't pick the Colts to be tearing it up. Right.
Here you go. So Daniel Jones in passing yards, 3rd in the league with 1,290. He's got 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. It's in terms of passer rating, qualified only. He is 8th in passer rating. By the way, Jordan Love sitting up there number 4. Let's go. Right. Yards per attempt. Is he dinking and dunking? No. Yards per attempt. Daniel Jones is actually 3rd in the league at 8.6. His completion percentage is 71%.
Ballin'.
That's wild, man. Let's see here. Completion percentage over expected. He falls a little bit down to the number 7 spot. He's having a damn good year, Emilio. Mm-hmm. You're talking about EPA, passing EPA. He is 2nd in the league, only behind the reigning MVP, Josh Allen. So
only taking 4 sacks.
Yeah. Now here's what's cool. EPA looking good, right? Let's go EPA per drop back. Look who is at the top. Daniel Jones at 0.28. Jordan Love at 0.26. So Love is he's impressing the heck out of me, man. I'm really excited about it. So yeah, Daniel Jones, man, he's legit this year. And again,
so are the Colts.
Yeah, they are, man.
Here to be legit as well. Let's see how they finish out this year, right? Great start and everything. But yeah, I've talked about it a few times that I think they were my sleeper in the AFC this year, and I don't think anyone's sleeping on the Colts anymore at this point. They seem legit, and seeing Kansas City struggle early makes a lot of us happy. Baltimore is struggling right now. You got teams like Indy, Jacksonville that could tilt the balance in the AFC, really change the playoff picture. If they can sustain this kind of success they've had throughout the year, it'll be fun to watch. I'm glad we don't play the Colts this year. We drew them last year for an AFC matchup. I'm glad we don't have them on the schedule this year.
Right, because what does the NFL want, Tim? Parity, right? They want to be able to have any team be able to go out there and win any game any week, and that's really what it's starting to turn out to be. I mean, you can't count on it. Bills lose one of the Patriots, bam. I mean, and yeah, we're hoping the Chiefs don't get it kicked off, and then when they play the Lions, it's like, oh, we are Chiefs fans. AFIM, you were right the whole time. Let's go. It's Chiefs season, so you'll have that week to week.
I love it. JJ McQuaid in the chat says Vikings got to feel pretty dumb with Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold balling out. Sam Darnold here in terms of EPA per dropback is 4th in the league. Daniel Jones is number 1 in the league. Both of those guys were in-house last year for the Vikings. They let them walk. And their starting quarterback right now, Carson Wentz, not playing bad, right? Not playing horrible. He's 13th in EPA per dropback. But there is a big difference between a plus 0.28 and a plus, where's he at here? 0.8. And his touchdown interception ratio 5-2, not bad considering he hasn't played but just 3 games. So really interesting to see how all the stats stack up. Where's Aaron Rodgers? I know PFF has graded Aaron Rodgers out really, really bad. His EPA per dropback is a minus 0.02. Aaron's got 8 touchdown passes, only 3 interceptions, only 786 yards passing though, so he's obviously not pushing it down the field too much. But in terms of passer rating, however, Aaron is 10th in the league at 102.6. So 68% completion percentage as well, boys. How about that, man? Jordan Love sitting at 69.4. If he finishes the year 70% completion percentage, Tim, we can tell everybody to shut up about the accuracy issues. My man has fixed it. It's exciting. Josh Allen did the same thing. Remember, he came out of college. He was like his completion percentage was in the 50s, right? And he fixed it. What's he at this year? Let's check that out real quick. Where is Josh Allen? Completion percentage, Josh Allen this year, 70.4%. Jordan Love's right behind him. So pretty wild.
Because Clay, what was Rodgers for his career?
65%.
65%.
65%. That's what you just been sitting on.
That's what I thought. I wasn't positive. I was just making sure.
You're sitting on that the whole time, man. I love it. Any other quarterbacks you guys want to see, Tim? Emilio? Anybody at all?
The only other one I'd be interested would be Stroud, just because, or I'm sorry, not Stroud, Stafford, because of his back and stuff coming in with a rough preseason. But then you got Puka tearing it up, so that's another team in the NFC we got to keep our eyes out for.
Yeah, Stafford. I remember seeing most of the betting lines, if not all of them, had him 4th best odds, tied with Jordan Love for MVP. Okay, 66.7% completion percentage. All right. His EPA is plus 32.9. His EPA per dropback is a positive 0.17. His touchdown interception ratio, 11 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So is he leading the league in touchdown passes? He is 2nd in the league, only behind Goff. So Goff has 12 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Matthew Stafford has 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So now Stafford has a lot more yardage, obviously, 1,503. I think he's actually leading the league in yardage right now. So
if Love throws 3 touchdowns this game, we're tied with Stafford. He throws 4, you're tied with Goff for league leader. You know what I mean? It's like we are not that far away. Our offense can put up 28 points against the Bengals.
And then just like on Madden, in your franchise mode, you're going to get that breakout scenario. You're going to meet with LaFleur in the office and going to go, hey, how do you want to attack this week? You set the goal low, guys. Under promise, over deliver. Pop that star up the superstar trait.
Yeah, the beginning of the season, you always expect you're going to make the Super Bowl, right? Set your high real high, and then every player it's real low so that we can get extra XP. And that's not even adjusting the sliders like Clay does. I don't need to go in there and be editing the players, turning them all 99. We can make do with what we've got.
Dead Fish says, I got Stafford as my backup quarterback behind Love. Let's go, man. That sounds like a pretty solid quarterback room right there, fantasy-wise. Is that in our fantasy league, Dead Fish, by chance? Are you in ours, or is that just in another fantasy football league? Which we need to get some updates on that, man. I'm eager to see who's winning those for sure.
Yeah, we'll have to check in with the beard here and get our update from the commish.
Damn, J. Cole said, I'm in 2053 in Madden. I need to retire. Jeez, Pete, Jay.
J. Cole playing a season a day over there.
J. Cole, we're drawing Social Security with his coach, man. That's unbelievable. How old is your coach, bro? That's good stuff, though, for sure. All right. Cheesehead Murph, you missed the opening segment. We talked about this. We'll hit on it for you, man. We appreciate you swinging through. He said, who's going to kick this Sunday against the Bengals? McManus hurt, isn't he? So Matt LaFleur said it was a major concern, and then McManus came back and said he's playing Sunday. So, of course, you guys know how that goes, right? I mean, obviously, if coach decides to shut him down, he's going to shut him down. And this would be a game that you could afford to miss him for sure. So, yeah. Anything else, boys? Anything at all?
No.
Hopefully McMoney's better tomorrow.
Mhm.
Maybe it's just, minor, right?
Mhm.
Let him do
I
a
hope
cold
so, too.
plunge, get some E-stim, whatever he's got to do, get that leg good enough to hit some extra points for us. We'll be all right.
Let's take a look real quick at the season leader receivers. We got a few minutes here, all right? We came this far. We might as well stretch it to an hour 20. So yardage obviously is not going to stick out for anybody on our team other than Tucker Kraft, but just strictly wide receiver. Let's go wide receivers here, all right, across the league, and let's see who is leading the league. So Puka Nakua at 588 yards receiving, then JSN, Justin Jefferson, Emeka Egbuka, boys. That dude. Dominant,
Rookie of the
right?
year.
Yeah, probably will be rookie. Well, let's think. Who else would be in consideration? Quarterback wise, Cam Ward probably. I don't think it's going to happen.
Dylan Gabriel potentially if he tears it up for the rest of the year.
That's true. What about Quinshawn Judkins running the ball, right? He's
Yep.
having a pretty good year running the ball. Am I thinking right or no?
Yeah, that's true.
And then the tight end we mentioned just a second ago. Who was that? Tyler Warren. He'd be in the hunt. You're right. Egbuka's probably the offensive rookie of the year as it sits right now, for sure. So touchdown catches. Just trying to take a quick glance here. George Pickens with 5. Amon-Ra St. Brown with 6. There's Egbuka again.
Romy Rome in the house.
Yeah. 4 touchdowns for Romeo Dobbs. There you go. So we got one on the board, right? Let's go yards per reception. Bam, Tutu Atwell, 41 yards per reception. He only got 4 catches.
Nice.
All he does is catch bombs. Look at Malik Heath, boys, 23 yards per reception. Now, I know he's only got 2 catches, but he's only been targeted twice too, right?
Dog.
That's
absolute dog.
100% catch percentage, dude. Got to stick him on the gloves.
That's right. Catch rate over expected. Let's check it out. Malik Heath plus 57 points.
Let's go.
Only 2 catches, but man, they got to get him. I'm telling you, they got to get him involved more.
I mean, it's tough when he's blocking guys to the water cooler all day long too. He's doing
the only other
work.
problem is when Christian comes back, it's probably going to be Malik. That's someone around that's going to get the boot. I hate to say it, but it's like you're going to run out of roster spots for guys like that. You're only getting 2 opportunities in 4 games.
Yeah,
we need a little more.
No doubt. All right, let's look at the sack leaders right now. Nick Benito for the Broncos with 7, Byron Young with 5.5, Dorrance Armstrong with 5, along with Josh Sweat, Brian Burns, and Aiden Hutchinson. Then Rashawn Gary is in the number 7 spot with 4.5 sacks on the year. I like to do this. I like to look at the sacks, right? The sack leaders. Now let's look at the stop total here. Gary's got 15, so he's got 3 more than Hutchinson, only 2 less than Brian Burns. He's got, what would that be, 15? 7 more than Josh Sweat, only 3 less than Dorrance Armstrong. Byron Young having a year, my God. 5.5 sacks with 24 stops. My man balling out. So if you sort it by stops, now you got to kind of take the linebackers out. So let's just go defensive line here. Now keep in mind, that's one negative thing about NFL Pro is they do put 34 outside linebackers as linebackers as opposed to defense. So this is just strictly defensive linemen.
Right.
If you go to stops, you got Myles Garrett with 20, Leonard Williams with 19, Dorrance Armstrong with 18, along with Quentin Williams, Max Crosby. Max Crosby having a good year. So you got Gary as 10th, or actually tied for 9th, right, with run stops.
I still cannot believe that they run him that much. 98% playing time for Max Crosby. That is unbelievable with everybody else around 60 to 80. It's like, and what was funny the other day, I was listening to that Cowboys pod. They were talking about, potentially, I'd be open to getting rid of the Packers pick and trading for Max Crosby. And I was cracking up the fact that, hey, maybe we need to get an edge rusher in here to bring in some pressure. And, I'd potentially give up a draft pick to go get an edge rusher.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, man.
And Deadfish makes a great point. Only 4 games for Gary, right? Yep. So obviously those stops are going to go. I mean, if we played 4 games up to this point, he's averaging roughly, a little over 3. So he would actually be in the 18 mark, most likely, if he continues up this pace. So he would be in the top 5. in run stops if he had played 5 games as well. All those other players on this list have played 5 games, it looks like. So the other thing to look at, too, is we're sorted by run what And again, keep in mind, Gary only played 4 games to everybody else's 5. When you look at the quarterback pressure rate, okay, what place would he fall in terms of sorted by run stops? And then you go quarterback pressure percentage. So there's only 1, 2, 3, only 4 of those guys have a higher quarterback pressure percentage than Rashawn Gary when you sort in the order of run stops. Does that make sense?
Right.
So he's kind of top 5 in quarterback pressure percentage amongst all the best run stoppers.
Right,
and again, he's probably top 3, like Deadfish said, if it weren't for him just playing 4 games. So, yeah. Love it, love it, love it. Taylor Bell, that's a PFF stat that I honestly don't like, to be honest with you. He says, or I'm assuming it's a he. I apologize if it's a she. What's the pass rush win rate with this front each individual? Pass rush win rate is a PFF statistic to the best of my knowledge, right? And the reason I don't like it, and maybe someone else comes up with one too, maybe ESPN has it, I don't know, but most of the time people quote PFF, and they never explain what plays they got a pass rush win or pass rush win on, right? And that drives me crazy. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
They can't even tell us what a pass rush win is.
Right? It's just like, trust me, bro. Literally hashtag trust me, bro. That's the reason I just can't take that as serious. Now, what I love about this, and I just to show you, this is why I love NFL Pro. If you're questioning whether a pressure is a pressure, all you got to do, you see this number right here? I'm just going to click it. Bang. I got to be careful here. I'm going to pause it real quick if it auto plays. Boom. Right? So you're automatically into the play. Here's a pressure. Here's a pressure. So you had 5 pressures against the Lions, 3 against the Commanders, 4 against the Browns, he being Rashawn Gary, right? And what you can do is you can go through and watch each individual play there where he got the pressures. PFF doesn't do that. PFF is just, trust me, bro. And I can't stand that stuff. So that's why I tend to lean toward NFL Pro over everything else for sure. So let's see one last thing here, boys. Let's go to DBs. All right. And let's see how our DBs are stacking up now. We'll go qualified. Bang. So keep in mind, this is corners and safeties alike. All right. Let's go passer rating when targeted, or passer rating allowed, as they call it here. Look at DTD, man. Dadrion Taylor Demerson.
DTD, my man.
I remember you talking him up through our draft process a couple of years
Emilio
ago.
likes him as much as he likes Travis Glover, I think.
Come on now.
Bro, his passer rating when targeted, 0. I repeat, 0. He's been targeted 14 times, only giving up 4 catches for 30 yards. That is wild to think about. Let's see where the Packers' first guy comes in terms of passer rating when targeted. Xavier McKinney. But PFF said he's bad, guys. Okay, how is your passer rating when targeted only 39.9, but you're bad at football? How does that happen? You see what I'm saying? That's the problem with PFF, is sometimes the math ain't mathing, you know? So with that being said, he's been targeted 7 times, giving up 4 catches for only 50 yards. And X obviously has an interception there as well. If we scroll down and just stay on passer rating when targeted, let's see if we can find the next Packer. Where is our boy at, man? Where's our boy Keyshawn? Maybe Keyshawn dropped after that last game. Let's see here. He may have sunk on the list a little bit. It may have locked up on me. I apologize. Oh, here we go. Where's Keyshawn at? There's Keyshawn next. So he's 52nd now. So he has dropped significantly to a 73.2. He's been targeted 22 times, giving up 12 catches for 152 yards. Still no touchdowns given up yet, though. So that's good. That's a
great opportunity for him and the rest of our corners to get those numbers up on Sunday. You know, we know they're going to be targeting Jamar and T. Higgins. So I think our corners are going to have a chance to get their numbers up.
Passer rating when targeted for linebackers. Now, Micah Parsons obviously just going to drop into coverage a minimal amount of times. This is a 39.6. The best Packer on this list in terms of linebackers, passer rating when targeted. Got to go down a touch here. Let's see if it's going to be Quay or Edrin. Edrin Cooper,
Here's the guy.
88.4. Yeah. And then again, Quay's was a little rough early, and we're only going to 70 here unless we go to the next page. So he's outside of the top 70, but his run defense is what's been better in my opinion. So if we let's go to stops real quick for linebackers, for stack backers. And again, keep in mind this includes, for whatever reason, they got Micah Parsons listed as a linebacker on NFL Pro. They need to get that cleaned up for sure. But run stops, Quay is tied for 13th in the league. And again, keep in mind, he's only played 4 games. Everybody above him played 5. So having a hell of a year. And I don't know where boy Cooper is. Cooper's right behind him there at 27. Not bad with 20. So he's 27th with 20. And then when you come to hustle stops, I love that stat, by the way. That hustle stops are awesome. Edrin Cooper is second in the league with 8. And everyone else around him has played 1 more game. So,
And Quay's creeping around the top 10 there. 4 games. He's at 11.
Yeah. Somebody just asked in the chat, what about running backs? JJ McQuaid did. So let's take a quick look at running backs and we'll wrap up there. All right. So let's go to rushing season leaders. And then we'll just go running backs, qualified only. And I don't know what stats you want to see, but let's see here. Rushing yards. Yeah, let's go rushing yards over expected per carry. That kind of filters out some of the noise. And Josh Jacobs is actually fairly low on this list. I looked this up earlier. He's 33rd in the league at a minus 0.4. Okay. So in terms of rush EPA, he is going to be significantly further down this list as well. He's in the 29th spot at minus 8.9. Last year, he was dominating those statistics. Now, yards after contact, totally different story, right? Rushing yards after contact, surely he's got to be up there with rushing yards after contact. Yeah, he's 12th in the league with 258 rushing yards after contact. So obviously he's breaking it. And that kind of doesn't make sense, right? Like when you look at your expected points added, rushing EPA, you typically those numbers align pretty well, yards after contact, right? Because it's just kind of the situation you're in. Did you make the most of it? So that math is kind of not math in there, to be honest with you. But in terms of touchdowns, what's he got? 4? Where's he at in rushing touchdowns? So he is tied for 4th place with Derrick Henry with 4 rushing touchdowns. So I think he's going to be fine. I think this week he's going to get on track, boys. I really do.
Yeah, he's going to add his 5th and 6th on Sunday. Let's go.
Get him over 300 yards. Get the ball rolling.
Yep. I'd like to see Josh, well over 20 rushing attempts, on Sunday if we can do it.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Just trying to take one last glance here. Yeah, so his rushing yards over expected is a minus 29. So we got to get Josh Jacobs going this weekend for sure, man. For sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Has anybody cracked the 20-mile-an-hour mark? They have. Looky here, boy. Jonathan Taylor has cracked 20-mile-an-hour 4 times this year. Holy cow. Wisconsin's finest right there, right? How about Derrick Henry doing it twice? That's crazy. Jahmyr Gibbs doing it twice. Yeah. I couldn't imagine Derrick Henry running 20-mile-an-hour at me.
That's terrifying.
At you.
I would just get the hell out of the way if I saw that happening.
Yeah. Give him the old Olay, right? I'm out of here.
Yep.
Tim, tell everybody about our giveaway we got coming up here, man, that's attached to a great cause, my friend.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The whole month of October, we partnered up with Operation Horses Heal. Check it out, operationhorsesheal.org/how can I help. It's a great cause. It's helping our veterans, active duty military members and their families as well, giving them the space and environment to allow for their own self-guided wellness journey, doing some equine therapy with the horses. Each donation that you guys provide is going to get you entered to win an autographed Romeo Dobbs jersey, courtesy of Clayton and Mandy, and of course the good folks at Pristine Auctions as well. It's a road white jersey signed by Romy Rome himself. You've got the whole month of October to support this great cause. You can scan that QR code in the upper right as well. It'll take you right there. But make sure you go to their website and check out what they're doing over there in Westboro, Wisconsin. Big shout out to Rachel and her husband Rooster, doing big things for our veterans. OperationHorsesHeal.org/how can I help.
There you go. Again, guys, it's just get yourself into the contest to win an awesome piece of Packers memorabilia, and also help a great cause. More importantly, there obviously. So, all right, boys, anything else, we good?
Ready to go. Ready to go donate to OHH. Let's do it, guys.
There you go.
Yeah. Appreciate everybody in the chat tonight. You guys were awesome, man. The chat was on fire. And we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow for sure. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central for PTA Live, and we'll dive into the game plan. We'll take a detailed look at, if I have time, what I'd like to do is break down some of the personnel and see exactly, all right, they like to run a lot of 11 personnel, the Bengals do, but what's the set they like to play out of? Do they go dub set? Do they go trips or tray? What is it they like to do? Do they go 3x1 or 1x3 and kind of get an idea of what we're expecting to see on Sunday as they come into town to face the Packers at Lambeau. So that being said, appreciate everybody. Hit that like on the way out. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for making us a part of your evening. Make sure you click that bell icon so you're notified every time we go live moving forward. Also, if you want to support what we do here at Packer Fan Total Access, just go to patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. $3 gets you access to everything in there. Didn't plan on creating that site. People were like, hey, I want to support the show. So I just created a Patreon group. Emilio was one of the first people to join the Patreon group when I created it. There was nothing, was there, Emilio? It was just Patreon. You just, here's come on. So
just Emilio in there updating the draft board all the time, right?
So now you guys got access to our draft board from last year, and we're updating the PFF grades in real time there. We're also going to start to put together a draft board for this coming draft, so you can kind of see, all right, here's some of the upcoming rookies for the draft. You also got access to the chats. Everything in there. And if you're a member of the $3 tier or higher, you're going to be entered into the giveaways moving forward as well. So during the post-game show this week, immediately following Packers Bengals, we're going to be giving away an autographed Marshawn Lloyd card, so a rookie card. So just make sure that you're a member of the Patreon group, and we'll throw your name on the wheel, spin that sucker, and give it away. So appreciate everybody tonight. Y'all have a wonderful evening. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world. And as everybody's saying in the chat, go Brewers. Got a lot of Brewer friends in here, so hopefully they can pull it out tonight and bury the Cubbies. They're in Chicago again, right, Tim? Am I thinking right?
Yeah, I believe so.
All right. So there you go. Go Brewers. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Take care.
There we go.
Nice.
Bye, guys.